What is going on, guys? Stormcat back with another video. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to the channel and watching. If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing at the end of this video if you enjoy. And let's get right on into what we have for you today. Roll the intro. Alrighty, guys, thank you for coming to the video. In this one, you already know we got 5 really simple tips for Terraria beginners. I plan on making this a long series, so if you want to know some of my tips that I use throughout the game to make my experience a little bit easier, definitely drop a comment down below letting me know that you want to see more tips. But without further ado, let's get right on into the video. Alrighty, guys, so this first little intro video, it's not going to be anything super complicated or anything. We are just going to go over 5 really simple tricks that can just make your experience a little bit smoother. So the first one that we have here is being able to block enemies from coming into your house during a blood moon. So, if you've ever been through a blood moon already, you know that enemies will open your doors and they will try to kill you and your NPCs. I believe the goblins also do this. There are a few events that are going to try to kill you. And if you want to prevent them from entering, you can do this really simple trick. Alrighty, guys, so I've built a little beginner house here, and as most of you know, enemies are going to break in through this door here. They're actually usually going to break off the door and you will have to replace it. But if you want to completely stop that during blood moons and other events, all you simply have to do is put these blocks here. Usually you're going to be doing this if you're super underpowered and you're not going to be leaving your house. Oh, look, the King Slime. Anyway, so you're gonna want to barricade in and just wait for the blood moon or the event to pass. And this is a really good tip if you are super underpowered and can't deal with the enemies that are around you. I know it's a super easy one and many people think of it, but a lot of people, you'd be surprised, don't know that you can do this or just don't happen to think of it in the moment. So if you're having a really hard time with a blood moon or any other event, you can always do this so that they don't break your doors and enter your house. That tip could also be used even if you're just regularly defeating them and you don't need help. You can use this to protect your NPCs. Alrighty, guys, next little tip that I have here is one that a lot of people put in boss guides because it is a little bit of an exploit, but it is something that a lot of people use in order to defeat bosses. In my opinion, this is not fun because if you can't defeat the boss on your own, but this is one way that you can absolutely for sure defeat any boss as long as you're quick enough. So let's get right on into it. The thing you're going to need for this is the nurse NPC. So let's open up the spawner here. Let's grab the nurse real quick. Here we go. We have the nurse. And basically what you're going to want to do is whenever you're fighting in an arena on a boss, all you want to do is pretty much trap the nurse. So we're going to do that here real quick. Hopefully she doesn't run away. Alrighty, guys, so I've built myself a little arena here. Basically, guys, what you're going to want to do is just make a little room for your nurse. If you want her to stay there permanently, you can make it a valid room like this down here that I made. But you are going to need a torch and all that so that she can permanently stay there. But what I'm going to do is make just a little box, and then we are going to spawn our nurse. And as you can see, my nurse is stuck in here, and if I teleport out, you can see right here that I can reach her and I can hit heal. So let's spawn a boss real quick and just show you it in action. Alrighty, guys, so we are going to spawn the Eye of Cthulhu right here. It's gonna get a little dark, sorry about that, but basically what we're going to do is I'm just gonna take all of my armor off just so you guys can actually see me taking some damage. Ugh. I'm still really not taking that much damage, as you can see. But if you're having any trouble with some really tough boss fights, like maybe Duke Fishron or the Moonlord, you can definitely do this to help. But as you can see, I'm taking a whole bunch of damage, and I'm purposefully not killing it, but that's just for the demonstration. So what you're going to want to do is run over to your nurse real quick, right click and hit heal. As long as you have some silver on you, this will always work. She will stay right in place and she will heal you infinitely. Alrighty guys, so tip number 3 is a really good one. I don't actually know if a whole bunch of people know about this, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that use this tip. But one thing that is really awesome in this game is floating islands. The only issue is that floating islands are very hard to locate unless you have a gravitation potion, and sometimes those can be hard to come by. They can be hard to actually craft as well unless you've already been at a floating island and you can get some harpy feathers and whatnot. So this is a little tip to locate your floating islands without using any gravitation potions. And we are going to grab a thing called meteorite bullets. So the reason we are grabbing meteorite bullets is because meteorite bullets will reflect off of every surface that they hit. So if you hit it at the ground, it's going to bounce up. If you hit it against a wall, it's going to bounce back towards you. Alright, we are also going to grab any type of gun. And don't worry guys, I am not going to leave you hanging. The meteorite bullets can be crafted with meteorite bars. And the way that you get meteorite bars is by defeating one of those little orbs in the corruption or crimson. You will have a 50% chance that night for a meteorite to spawn after you blow one of those up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can show you real quick just in case. It is going to be this thingy right here. If you blow that up, you can get a meteorite to spawn. Go to the meteorite and mine some of that, make some bars out of it, and then you can craft these bullets. Alright guys, so after you get your bullets and your gun, you're just going to want to walk around your world a little bit and constantly shoot straight up. I was shooting straight up and these bullets are bouncing back down. That's exactly when you know you have a floating island right above you. So as you can see, check my map, there it is. And then you are going to use rope or any block or whatever you want to choose and go all the way up and get your really cool items. Alrighty guys, so tip number 4 is not like an exploit, it's just something cool that would be really awesome early in your playthrough to find. So let's go over to the dungeon. Now the reason we are going over to the dungeon is because there is a spell called the water bolt. This tip is definitely meant for beginners. I'm probably going to put that in the title. Because you don't really need the water bolt after you defeat Skeletron and have really cool items from the dungeon. So this is sort of to get you through your first few bosses. It's a really good spell if you have a lot of mana and you have an enclosed structure, kind of like this one over here. It will keep bouncing all over the walls and it's a super good spell. So this is definitely for beginners. But you know, if you're just looking for a water bolt, maybe for like a mod crafting recipe or something like that, this is still useful. So anyway, let's get on to the tip. As you guys know, probably most of you do, if you go too far into the dungeon guardian will spin his big freaking head and kill you in one hit, no matter how much health you have. So basically, you want to sort of find where that limit is and look around the bookshelves for a water bolt. You will know it is a water bolt because a little symbol will pop up saying that you can right click it to get a spell. So basically what we're going to do is just check all of these bookshelves and hopefully we will be able to find a water bolt. There, as you can see guys, this is what it'll look like. I just wanted to show you so you knew what to do. You see this blue and red book right here? That is the water bolt, and you can see right there that my symbol changes to a water bolt. This should also happen on the console and mobile version as well, I believe. But you can see there it changes. If you right click, boom, we got our water bolt here. So it is a fantastic spell. Again, this doesn't apply to all worlds because you can't always get it before Skeletron, but you can always get it no matter what as long as you've defeated Skeletron. So it's super lucky if you get it early. If not, it is still a great spell, but that is how you can get the water bolt early. Alrighty guys, the last tip for this intro video, which is pretty short, is that you can use banners and sunflowers at your base or arena to help you defeat enemies. So if you like farming the goblins or the pirates or the slime invasion, what you can do guys is around your arena you can plant these little sunflowers that I'm about to show you here in a second, and you can also use the enemy banners. So as you can see, there's sunflowers right here, and some people don't know, again this is for beginners, that the sunflowers actually give you a boost if you put them down, because all it says is that it can be placed. But if you go over here, a few things that you can place around your house or arena to help you defeat enemies and bosses are the campfires, the sunflowers, and then also any enemy banner. You will know that it gives you a little buff if you see a buff in the top left hand corner of your screen. So we place the campfire, and as you can see, we have life regen. We place the sunflower, and as you can see, movement speed is increased and monster spawns are reduced. And then the last thing that you can do guys is hang up some banners, and this will give you a damage bonus against those enemies. So as you can see, banner, increased damage and defense from the following: blue slime and green slime. So those are just some short little tips that not a lot of beginners know. Hopefully this does make your Terraria experience a lot more smooth and makes it more fun. These things were definitely put in the game for a very good reason, so use them to your advantage when you can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this 5 tips video. Again, I know that these were really simple, but I just wanted to ease into this series with a few simple tips for beginner players. If you did enjoy this video, or want some more complicated tips, maybe some for hard mode and later, then definitely hit the like button and comment down below what you would like to see. Consider subscribing if you did enjoy the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.